Hello, my name is LoG. Welcome to Quickies number 21, where I show you something that I think is cool in 5 minutes or less. Learning songs or learning solos is a really great way to enhance your mechanics or your technique, but if you just simply learn the solo and move on to another one, you're missing out on a really great opportunity to gather some musical ideas to enhance your own playing. So we're going to go over an example of that today and how it can be so valuable to notice tiny little pieces from songs or solos, extract them, and then develop them with your own style. So let's say I am learning a song or a little solo or something, and I notice this little figure in that part. Looks like this. Really simple, really small, easy to play figure that I simply notice as I'm playing. I notice it because I think, okay, that sounds pretty cool. It's got a little bit of chromaticism going on. It's also very small, meaning I can move it around to a variety of places easily, and it's very easy to physically play. Maybe it fits really well with my technique or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract this little idea and then develop it in a way that I can use in a variety of different situations and kind of put my own flavor on it with my own sensibility, my own technique, etc. So the first thing you want to do is say, why does this lick sound cool? Why does this lick, this little idea work in the first place? And the way to do that is to look at the notes that you're playing, compare those notes to the chord that's happening at that moment in the solo or the song that you're learning. So let's say the chord that's happening at that moment is like E dominant, or E, some sort of E dominant sound regardless of what it is. Okay, great, so I know the context that I'm playing in. Let's look at the notes and see how they fit in that context. So what am I playing? B, C, C sharp, and then E. Okay, so first off, I notice this E on the top. Maybe that's the last note of the lick. Well, that makes perfect sense because that's the root of the chord that's happening at that moment. E dominant, and I'm landing on E. What are the other notes? I've got a B and a C sharp. That feels like kind of major pentatonic, right? That's like 5, 6, and 1 of E, and then I have a little passing tone in between. So maybe that's the idea. It's kind of a major pentatonic or dominant sound with a little passing tone in between those lower notes, and I'm ending on a strong note. So if that's the case, let me try to take this idea and apply it to a variety of other positions that live inside that dominant sound. So what do I mean by that? I'm going to take the phrase and end on a chord tone every time. So right now I'm ending on E, and obviously that works, but what else can I do? How about end on flat 7? That's another chord tone of E dominant, right? What would that be? That would be a D. How did I find that? Because E is the 1, flat 7 is always back 2 frets, right? So I'm going to try the same exact figure leading up to this note. So here it is moving up to the root. Here it is moving up to the flat 7. Does that also work? Okay, so if this is flat 7, D, what notes are these? A, passing tone B. That's 4, 5, and then flat 7. Again, that sound fits in this dominant 7th kind of tonality that I have going on. Great, I can play it right here, can play it right here. What else can I do? How about target another chord tone? How about the 5, right? Where's 5? Right here. That's our B, okay? So when we play the exact same figure walking up to that, does it work? This is 2, passing tone 3. Again, all of E dominant of some sort, and then landing on the 5. All 3 of those work. I don't even need to change the fingering at all. It's exactly the same. Now, let me say I want to keep playing up here. I don't really want to move down yet. So instead of playing it right here, targeting the 5, the B, I'll play it right here. A little bit different fingering because of the tuning of the guitar, but still the same lick. Nice, okay, might as well add in the last chord tone, see if it works in that situation. What's the last chord tone? The 3rd, that would be here, right? 1, 2, 3, G sharp. So we play the exact same fingering right here just to see if it works. There it is, so what do I have? E, passing tone, F sharp, and then G sharp. That's 1, passing tone 2, 3. That pretty much works, so that means I can hit every chord tone with the same sort of fingering. Nice, so now I've taken that one little piece and applied it to a variety of different spots within the sound that give me a variety of places to, of course, play the idea. I can then do everything that I just did down a register, down an octave. So instead of doing this, I can do this. It's the same idea, right? There's my root, going down a string, playing 5, passing tone 6, root. works perfectly. If I can do it here, just like I did up top, and I moved back a fret to play flat 7, I can do the same thing right here. So now I've got leading up to the root, leading up to flat 7. How about leading up to 5? Where it's exactly the same. So now I've got all of these areas that I can play this sound. And maybe I can experiment with some other ones too, other notes that are not chord tones. How about I do it right here, just for fun? What would that be? That's me targeting A, the 4 of E. Not necessarily a chord tone, but who cares? It's in the sound. It's another place that I can play it. So then I can kind of string together all of these ideas in a way that gives me this larger lick based off of little pieces of a smaller one. That would look like this. That's me doing that same lick, just targeting all those notes that I just called off. This is targeting the 4, A, the 5, the 1, excuse me, the 3, the 5, flat 7, 1. It's all the same exact lick, I'm just moving it around to target new notes. So now that I've got my bearings in how to use this little piece of a sound, now I can start to experiment with changing it or just doing some different things to kind of get some more mileage out of it. So instead of just walking up the lick, how about I walk up and back? That's probably the easiest modification you can make. That works. Right, that's me doing the 5 right here. 3. Right, in that case, I know that the notes that I'm playing are still mostly living inside that E dominant, so I can end on that note confidently knowing it's going to work. Now I've got a longer phrase out of it, or I'm creating a longer phrase with these ideas because I know how it works. And I'm just developing the idea, try to find some new ways to play it. Going up and down feels pretty good, especially if you want to do like a faster run that kind of takes you from low to high. Something like that, really easy to play, again, because I already know the lick, and that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to develop it, because it was physically easy to play, right? Then, of course, I can develop it even more. How about, instead of just going up and down like that, which is cool, how about I add like a high note, an extra high note to the mix, okay? So here's the original. How about I add this? I can do that because I know what note that is. That's 2, and I'm playing this like dominant 7 major pentatonic sound, so I know that works. So I can simply do a pattern like this, move it around, do it to the 3, or maybe here, to the 5. Notice I'm always targeting those certain chord tones that I figured out originally, right? Moving up to the 1, then going up a note from there. Moving up to the flat 7, going up a note from there. Just adding in that little note, being aware of what that note would be, how it would work in the sound, moving around. And again, I'm very confident in how I can play these because I know I've already figured out all of those strong locations in the first place. Nice, what's another thing I can do? How about change like the rhythm? Instead of just going up and down, how about I do some sort of like staggered pattern? Same sort of idea, I'm just kind of implementing maybe my own flavor, my own kind of technique. I'm doing some hybrid picking in there, some picking fingers, because that's comfortable for me. You can do the same thing. Doesn't mean the licks that I'm creating are going to be exactly the same as what you would create, because you use your own sensibility, your own technique to develop it. Again, you can experiment even more. How about adding in, instead of a high note like I just did, add in a low note? What would that be? So I'll do a little chromatic. Here's our original lick. Add in a low note. Right? Notice the note I chose right there. That's G sharp. Why would I do that? Because I know that's the 3rd of the main sound that we're playing. See how important it is to always understand the context of the lick. Because if you understand the context of where that lick is living, in this case, E dominant, I can pick and choose notes kind of however I want. Do it right there. Again, just add a note, making sure you know where those notes live, or I can do a longer run with it. How about I start on the bottom like this? Move around, develop your own shapes, develop your own sounds, and notice the core lick, if you remember what it was, right? All of the ideas that I'm playing now sound pretty different from that original idea because I've taken that moment to develop it. And of course, this isn't even including trying to develop these ideas in a variety of other sounds, like instead of dominant, Develop it over major 7, develop it over minor 7, with the same idea, right? Target the chord tones of those sounds, develop the idea with a little chromaticism, apply all the same stuff but to those different sounds. And you've taken one tiny little sliver of a solo, this like 4-note little passage, and you're getting tons of new material out of it that you can use however you want. Make sure you do this. Again, if you're learning solos and just learning the solo for fun, of course, nothing wrong with that, but if you don't notice little cool phrases like this, extract them, develop them in whatever way you want, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to add some more musicality, some more ideas to your playing. Hopefully this stuff makes sense. See you in the next one.